these days, it's not any personal failing on the guy. People make these things. Unfortunately, it's that we live in an age where there's a lot of demagoguery about immigrants. It's the age-old game of the capitalist class to turn people against each other on racial lines. So they don't unite against, you know, the capitalist ruling class instead. As things get harder for people in neoliberalism, there's been more and more efforts. I mean, that makes it sound more planned than it is. What it really is politician runs for office. Politician doesn't want to talk about improving people's lives because that would upset his rich donors. The things that need to be done to actually improve people's lives, like cutting taxes on the poor, working class, and there are some taxes they pay, like payroll tax in the U.S., maybe raising the payroll tax contribution limit, for instance. To speak of what I know of U.S. politics, where the rich don't have to pay the same percentage of their income into payroll tax as everyone else because they don't pay any more payroll tax after a certain level. So to avoid promising something like that, politicians said distracts people with racist rhetoric, anti-immigrant rhetoric, blames the immigrants for people's problems, and therefore they don't look instead at the rich people not paying their fair share, the same percentage of their income as everyone else does for towards programs like Social Security, how that leads to the programs being undermined with a million rules, such as I'm getting screwed with a rule that exempts jobs you work on campus as a student at university. That may sound like, well, you're not paying taxes, but the actual pay rate of those jobs is typically very, very low, whereas you're getting work credits for them. Very often you'll still, if you're getting jobs, you might not even get a full year's worth, but you're getting some of the best possible ratios of work credits to work in those jobs if they were contributing. So they lose very little payroll tax contribution by not taxing that, but they can very often screw young people who are, say, fresh out of graduate school or a bit older but haven't quite worked enough to qualify, or like me, went back to graduate school. But anyways, they can screw people out of let's make this a solid platform for 6. I'd be able to collect Social Security programs, which means then they don't need to, because they're paying out less for things like Social Security, disability insurance, they don't need to necessarily have the same pressure to tax the rich, to raise the payroll tax contribution. That's just one of the nastier things that's done. But, you know, expanding all sorts of programs that support people can be avoided if a politician instead turns into a demagogue about immigrants. So that's what they do, at least some politicians. And there's always a certain percentage of the population that falls for it every damn time. Even if people don't buy into the nonsense that their issues are due to it, they get people worried about, oh, their values are incompatible with ours or whatever nonsense. That's what they say in Europe often. That's a freaking often dog whistle to some very vicious racist stereotypes that aren't even based on reality. But this is what you get when you have capitalism and immense amounts of money in the hands of billionaires who don't want to have that money, you know, taxed. But donate, so they'll donate a bit to politicians' campaigns. The politicians will turn around and do things like this to avoid having tax billionaires. The billionaires pay less than the political donations than they save in taxes this way, so it's they consider an investment to buy politicians. And in terms of investment logic, it is very cost effective for them to undermine, destroy democracy. Like this. If it weren't so evil, you might even say it's smart, but yeah, people fall for this stuff. It's not necessarily someone's a bad person, although some of these views you could say people should know better. And that it's their own resentment getting the better of them, and probably right. You do have to understand that the real blame lies the politicians who are actively feeding the hatred. Cool. Storage crate. Whole bunch of storage. Now out of the way place where it won't even be hardly noticed. Missing space. Easily accessible. Hopefully Mestro like that. Oof. That destroys the door. That's not good. And there was wheat seed. As I said, I probably didn't want store to be too close to the crops. It could be open back, so when you're trying to select the crops. This is a little too monotonous of a tone with stone waterway everywhere. That's a pretty decent place for another wooden workbench. Sufficiently large space for it. And a little space to stand where not actually on the bench. What the heck? Look at that, and it's possible to walk right to it. Oof. That's right, this area floods. Definitely heard something light on fire. Keeps monsters at bay. As much as I like water. It's probably not the place for it. Only takes a single tile to let stuff drain out. There we go. I don't mind also letting some water pool down there if it gets manages to get that far. This doesn't have to be too wide, just a wide enough base for the flag. Is this no? Oh, that's cobblestone brick. Changing the type of stone brick is a good way to break up the monotony. Everything looks the same. Problem here. You can use it to create highlights around, say, this window to emphasize it. So cobblestone brick breaks easier, so I guess it's softer material. Interesting. Yeah. Different brick sizes. Makes sense. Makes sense. Softer stone around the window proper where it might need to be been carved out. Of course, it may just be its bigger stones, but smaller stones to fit around the lattice. Makes a certain amount of logical sense. This also gets me some cobblestone brick that would make more. also want the structure to match his aesthetic further to the east. Cool. Not that much water to pull, but what does, some of it will gradually its way there. Yeah, easier to jump through now. Yeah. Bomb that mine tunnel is going to flood. Drainage like this even more of a problem on forest roads because they wetter and rain more. Interestingly. I can double jump, he can't. There we go. Create a stairwell anyways. Or probably need a little bit of a landing at the end. Stairwell like this. There we go. Sometimes need a landing. Doesn't always work without one. else for that. I'll just carry this around with me. It's not an ideal place for workbench, and I do use it to build stuff. Need more torches for night around here. Really don't want to salt bags on. Timed correctly, double jump can eliminate a lot of fall damage, but make it, yeah. Hmm. That was too low down. Yeah, that's actually, so make sure drainage occurs properly. Need that, as long as there's something at lower level. think, yeah, you can plant there. A little bit of drainage there will actually make this area get wet more than anywhere else. Yeah. Pat dirt makes a good basement material in garden. Well, it's kind of semi-realistic-ish material. It's got way too much of it. Oh my, this video's been going for a while. Alright, wow. I should probably cut this in a sec. Exact sound. It's heavy stone bricks, by the way, very slow to break, very strong material. Put some stuff anyhow. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Access it from below like you could from below a platform, though. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Of course, a tall stack like that. My best. Yeah, this is gonna be a hassle. Let's use a platform into this. This is just one chest. Great. Emergency, you can eat corn raw. That's very low nutritional value, though. Some of the pearl piece. Warren. Legs. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise. Warrens are, like to hunt. Just a little bit more of this storm. Just enough to finish this aesthetic. Cool. All right. Some more background there. Cool. That should do something to prevent water puddling. There we go. That's more like it. Alright, hour 46. I could almost cut this video in two. In fact, maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, that's all I'll do. This video is so it's got way too long. Way beyond the point of what I can just easily fix. I mean, or ignore, I should say, not fix. Oh, wasn't this... boom. Pearl peas everywhere around here. I can actually take advantage of this way the water pools to create a kind of self-watering effect. There, now water gets here. We'll go through here. just how freaking soft this cobblestone brick is. Brick's way too easy. I would bet yeah, it breaks quicker than wood. Ornate wood here. That's just crazy. Some wood types take longer to break. Whatever. Easy remodeling, I guess. Single torch should be enough. Yeah, that serves no real purpose except to get in the way. There's a reason for that, I promise. Don't seem to mind living in close space if hatches and clothes. It's just as I noticed there. Sometimes that doesn't stop. Changes below the hatches or above. You know what, I bet it is this area was defined as a room before the hatch was added. So now he gets annoyed if his air quote house gets blocked to move, like. Down here. Oh, no. Not even. Yeah. Let's double check this. Will it redefine the house? Nope. Have to lose a tenant and get a +1 who's less far. This quest, yeah, that's what it is. Hatches can be used to find a house, because obviously that area is outside. They just, once a house has been defined. Okay. It's open, rain can fall, go through there, water the crops. In some cases. And a door. Might actually be an issue in certain cases when I run across. That'll work. Campfire. Sometimes people come warm their hands by it. It was fine before. Yeah. It's gonna have issues with At this point, this will get cut into 2 1-hour videos. That's the idea. There you go. And the whole area here is closed. So if I accidentally breached into here, from here to here, it won't upset that tenant. Sure, I want. Thinking about this, the AI is wandering out of this area. I think I'd rather actually trap one in here. Just because they get annoying when they get in the way of stuff. I know. There's actually a light down there, so I don't even need that. What? It's enclosed. Why is it? It keeps alternating between thinking it's enclosed and not. See missing blocks. Seems to be solid. No window lattices don't hurt. Maybe it's because it couldn't be that it's because it's inaccessible, could it? Hmm. It's closed by doors. Let's make doubly sure the hatch isn't the issue. Right now it's narrow and closed by doors. So it wasn't the hatch, for sure. What the heck? Maybe because the light source is down there, that might be causing issues. Or it's not lit enough. Lighting issue? Nope. Not a lighting issue. The only rules on doing a tenant is that the space has to fully enclosed by doors background. Maybe there's technically holes in the floor. Wait a second, how'd that fall down here? Alright, I see a lattice. See absolutely no holes. See missing background blocks. I see a light source. Why does it think it's not valid? It's an issue with like wedges. That worked. What the heck? Oh, I bet it was something like there wasn't enough room above this thing. Cool. Or it just doesn't like this one location for some weird reason. Put it a little higher. Why would it not like that column but not care about this? Alright, well. It wants to be weird, it can be weird. I guess. Ah, traditional sword rack. Cheap way to get guards. This one's Hyodal. So this merchant will occasionally give rice seeds. Need weapon themed stuff like that weapon storage locker to get guard characters, which are useful in some more dangerous worlds where stuff can come in and murder you or your colonists. For the colonists to respawn. And great, she jumped out. It's all too willing to do that. And then she bugs out with that. Figures. Oh, at least it's an easy fix. This is getting long even for 2 videos. Sigh. Alright, viewers. Well, if I don't cut it, I'll unlock it around to cut it. So, as tired as I am, as much as I made this video too long and had to cut it in 2, I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Kind yourselves. May you always find a guiding star leading home. Until next time, this is Northstar. Adieu, and best luck. I'll be continuing this, so look out for next video.